All right, so this is GoblinMarine here for a week 4 recap. We're almost done with this Stun Teacup regular season play. And with me, as usual,
Hey, how's it going? BigChuck here. How are things?
they're going good. Got plenty of sun this weekend and all that. So I've already got the schedule page for day 4 up. I don't know exactly what you're showing on stream.
Yep, same thing.
So unfortunately, this top game, Uncles and Cousins versus Extreme Right Wingers, there was a scheduling issue, and they couldn't get that one played. So that's just an admin game.
Mm, too
Uh,
bad.
yeah, but Troll Amongst Trolls did level up on the MVP, and it looks like some Noblar got to 13 out of 16, so it looks like it got a touchdown and an MVP. All the SPP went to a Noblar on poor Uncles and Cousins. That's
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, that's really really unfortunate for that one. Next up is Your Game versus Striker. And
Yep.
this one was painful to watch, if I'm honest. It was just it was a very regimented foul into a pitch clear on Striker's part.
Yep. Yep. That was pretty much that. We got pitch cleared and still got the draw.
Yeah, you did the elf thing where you score enough fast enough that they can't catch up even though they murder you all.
Yep. We were
So
just pesky enough to hold it off.
yeah, movement 8 is kind of OP in stunties, it turns out.
It is really good. It is balanced by how much it costs you, but it is a strong stat line for sure. Like you can make those kind of potato plays where you just get away with it sometimes.
Yeah. Although I will say that I watched this and watching a tree move 10 squares in 2 turns was frightening.
Oh, they do that a
Did
lot.
you? Well, most trees cannot move 10 squares in 2 turns. Striker happens to have rolled the movement up on the one.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that needs to be his ball carrier. He is missing out on that.
Halfling trees don't have loner, so like the go for it's are not crazy like they would be on other big guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So his one tree, which one is it? It's Slammin' Sammy Bagel is the one that injures all the halflings when he throws them. The other one, Biscuits and Gravy O'Grady, does fine. But Slammin'
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Bagel needs to stop throwing halflings. He just breaks them.
Yep, absolutely. He should totally stop throwing things with Slam and Sammy Bagel.
And he's the one who's got blocked. Punch things. It's stunties. Just punch things instead.
Yep.
But
Yep. Deeper, it's pretty good.
Striker's fun to watch. He has his own way of playing, which a lot of people like to hate on, but he finds a way to make it work, and it's always fun watching him play halflings or roller dwarfs, really.
Mm-hmm.
So next up is reciprocating Sawzall versus Underway Freaks, and I gotta,
Surprising result.
well, not really, because if you watch this game, the teabag of the week goes to both of Rusty's stupid trolls because they took turns being stupid on the 2+, and some turns they both went stupid. So those trolls just loafed around and watched the goblins get mauled by much better goblins, is really what happened. And to be fair, Gracie piled on about every other turn with one of his goblins, which was
66% on the really stupid roll. That's impressive.
yeah, they failed a lot. And like I said, Gracie was on it with that piling on. He did not hesitate to pile on whatever. Like he took a goblin block on a troll because he could pile it on. It was
That's awesome.
I've never seen that animation. It was brilliant, and I saw it. It had to have been like 5 or 6 piling on. He piled
Mm-hmm.
on probably as many times as Common Zimmer's ogres, who have 2 piling on ogres. It
That's
was
pretty great.
it was impressive. So if you watched this game, it wasn't too surprising to see how it went when you look at how skilled Grazie's goblins are after just farming me for all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
SPP and rolling all kinds of great mutations and stuff. His team really went to work. There were a lot of fouls, but not a lot of stuff leaving from fouls. Both sides, it seems like there was always a goblin jumping on something.
Mm. Yeah. Yep. That's goblins tend to do that. That's what they're for.
Yeah, and like the start of the season, Rusty was on a tear, especially with that game against you, and it just hasn't panned out for him the last half of the season. So
That's a little bit the story of goblins, though. They're a team that only does one of two things. They either go off and it's fantastic, or they don't, and you get 2-0'd.
in my experience, I have found that the Goblins either win the toss or they guaranteed lose the game. That's how my Goblin experience has been. Um,
Doesn't sound far off.
yeah. So next up is the Ogre Off. That side of the family, Tater Spiro's Ogres versus the Elite of the Worst, Common Zimmer's absolutely sickening Ogre team. And this one saw Tater Spiro suffer 2 permed Ogres. I think the basement guy got a niggle, maybe, and then Aunt Gertrude got stat busted. He appoed it, and it came up death, and he just said, nope, you're dead. So he lost an Ogre and took another perm on one this game.
Ouch. That's a painful game to go through for that side of the family.
I think the niggle was actually to a Noblar also, if I recall. It was sad. But, Tater Spiro got the play of the week. Turn 16, he stunty and titchy dodged through to mark the movement up ball carrier Ogre to prevent the touchdown and forced 3 2+ rolls that Common Zimmer failed. And that brave little Noblar held the draw all by himself. There were 3 pieces on the pitch for Tater Spiro, 2 Ogres and a Noblar, and the Noblar stopped the touchdown and saved the game.
That is amazing. That is a great Noblar. Which Noblar was it? Do you have that?
I don't
one? Do you
recall.
have that
I would have to go and look at the replay. But it was the bestest little Noblar boy that there was.
So, we need to make sure that he gets the proper
the proper
accolades.
Burial at the end of his career.
I mean, that's coming. We know that's coming, but he needs his proper eulogy at the least for saving this game.
Yeah, and it was looking bad at the end of the first half too, but Common Zimmer just couldn't get the ball in at the end of the first half, and then just didn't quite get the chance, even though things were going his way, didn't quite get the chance to put it in the second half, and it came up a draw.
That was a 17 SPP game for the Elite of the Worst.
That sounds right, looking at it. Yeah, because they had, 6 or 8 injuries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 injuries and an MVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have
17 SPP, no touchdowns. That's amazing.
But they have a block piling on Ogre and a piling on Ogre in a stunty league.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, block is OP in this league. It absolutely is. And last up, we have me versus Pookie's Cult of Strength. And this game was a bit ridiculous at a couple specific moments. He had the ball on turn 6 or on my turn 16. He had the ball, and he had a guy in scoring range. And I dodged out, and he used diving tackle as the ball carrier to force a turnover.
All right.
So he was like, "Why did I just do that?" And I was like, did you just do that?" And then he gets the ball, and he runs downfield, and he's in short pass range. And he takes the 2 GFIs to get into quick pass range. The statistical thing. You take those GFIs to make the pass better, and then you pass. He rolls a 5 and a 6 on the GFIs, a 4 on the pass, and a 2 on the catch. He should have just passed it from the long range, it turns out, and he'd have had the draw.
Yep.
So that felt kind of bad for that to happen to him because he'd made it a scrappy game for sure.
Well, that is valiant effort on the part of the Lizards, but those stunty passes those will be the death of you.
Yeah, but it just feels bad to make the statistically correct play, and because of the way the dice went that time, to get the shafts for it. You should have just done the dumb thing. All right. And I know you talk a lot about that.
Yeah. Always do if you made the right play and you don't get the results you want, you still made the right play. Just be happy.
And this season hasn't really worked out as well for him as it could have, but I will say that just from game 1, we both noticed that he was playing a higher level of stunty than he was last season.
Yeah.
So.
And I do want to say now, I want to go on the record, Puke. I know I promised you a recap or a review of some of your Dark Elf games in the main league. I owe you that. I'm going to go in and take a look at one of those as soon as I have a chance.
Oh man, he's playing Dark Elves? There's so many Dark Elves now, it seems.
Well, Dark Elves are good.
But they're boring!
Nah, witches are not boring.
I mean, okay, so they're not as boring as Amazons, but...
Yeah. They're not as boring as Wood Elves either. Come on.
I mean, I'm sorry. Wood Elves are incredibly dynamic. Just everyone hopes the dynamic is them all leaving the pitch by turn 4.
Yeah. I mean, by dynamic, pick up the ball, click end zone. That's pretty dynamic, but...
Yeah. I do have another league where I play Wood Elves, and I just feel like no matter how dumb I play, I'm always in the game somehow. I don't win all of them, but I'm doing surprisingly well.
Yeah. Movement 8 adds you 4 a hell of a drug.
That's true. So now I guess we can go to the leaderboard real quick, and you can pull up my leaderboard that I have there.
Let's go over to this, and boom, there is the modified leaderboard.
Yeah, so there was one week where there was no play of the week and no teabag of the week. Nothing really stood out to me. It was kind of a sad week for me watching it. And I could go back and fix that, but I'm not gonna because I don't care enough. But I'm sorry, but this is all done on a volunteer basis. What do you expect from me?
Yep, that's fair.
So on top in both Cyanide's leaderboard and my leaderboard is Nillyman, I believe. Yeah, with his halflings. 10 points on my leaderboard, doing a little bit worse relative to the others than he is on Cyanide's, only because he hasn't won a teabag or play of the week. Right on his tail are you and Grazy. And my leaderboard doesn't have this week, so we'll ignore that, even though you and I both know what happened in your game.
Yep.
And you guys have both won one of the awards, so you are tied until we get to... Well, he's got a better TD differential, it looks like. And I'm not sure if that comes next.
Even not on TV differential, he has it on I was last season's champion, I lose the first tiebreaker, right?
No, you lose the first tiebreaker because you're lizards.
Yeah.
Because you're lizards and they're OP. That's what it was.
Fair enough, yeah. So I lose the first tiebreaker no matter what. So tied is not good enough for me.
That's fair. Right on your heels, there are 3 people with 7 points this year, or this season. We've got Rusty with his goblins, partly because his trolls just completely did nothing last week. And then Little Bits and Striker are legit tied with 2 wins and a draw apiece. And then just 1 point shy of that are the other ogre teams, that side of the family and the elite of the worst.
Yep.
So
and Tater Spyro keeping in there with those the double awards for play of the week. So
yeah, he's had some play. I'd have to go back and look at what his other play of the week was, but you know, clearly he's doing something that I think is amazing. Even if I can't remember the first one.
Yep.
And then there's me and Puke down at the bottom there. Because I'm kind of playing off meta. I came into this not really planning to win the Stunty Cup. I would not be... If I was trying to win, I might have 1 or 2 points more. I would not be doing that much better if I was legit trying to win the cup. But I am 70 points shy of having a legit Underworld team here. I am 5 SPP on the Troll and 70 TV shy of being able to buy 2 Line Rats, 2 Blitzers, and a Thrower, and having a legit team.
I mean, you could basically get to a legit team minus, like, one of those pieces, right? So you have to buy one.
No, I'm already sacrificing one of the Throwers, and that's kind of the minimum number of rats, is just pass on 1 Thrower early on. But I've almost got the Troll to guard Tentacles, which is that's all I want out of a Troll ever, is guard Tentacles. He's 5 SPP short, and I've got 2 games left. So if I win one of them, I can probably get the 70 cash between the 2 games and make that weird, bizarre dream happen. But probably, I think the next one is Ogres. which is going to hurt.
Well, just don't die.
I know, right? I had to use my Apple on the troll this week because he rolled a death on him. And I
Yeah.
wasn't willing to let that go straight to regen. That was the whole point of doing this.
Right.
So, other than knowing that Nillyman is almost definitely going to be in the running for the championship, anybody lower on the ladder, anyone down to Common Zimmer, the top 8 out of 10 teams are still competitive going into the race for the bowl game, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty competitive set of rules I've got here that I've kind of patched together to make it competitive. I'm glad that panned out.
Yep. So do the bowl games have names? Or are we going to find out when they're announced?
I think 1 or 2 of them have names for like in the rules when I'm talking about the different tiebreaker scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the people who won the Teabags of the week, the ones who are playing for the massive boneheads, they're all in the top 3 or 4 right now. So they're not competing in like a bonehead of the week bowl. They're competing in maybe the championship. So they need to have names. I don't have names for all of them, but they need to have names for sure.
All right, we can work on that between. I'll be happy to brainstorm some horrible bowl game names for you.
I'm happy for suggestions from any and everyone, in Stunty League or not. Doesn't matter to me. All right, so now we can look at this week's schedule. So
all right,
we will
ignore the result.
Ignore that result. We have Underway Freaks versus Brunch Time. So let's go look at those teams and start with Underway Freaks. And he's gotten a lot of SPP the last couple of games. What do you think of Crazy's team?
So it seems like it's been a bit since we've looked at it. Has this Agi Underworld Goblin been here?
He was in last week's game doing. I mean, I don't think with extra arms and Agi, I don't think that those did. I don't think he ever needed 5 Agi for anything he did. But that guy carried the ball and like threw a pass and stuff.
That's an amazing piece. He's got kind of the full gamut. Yeah, he's got the full gamut of things here, so I love it. I love everything I'm seeing here. Ping Pop is like a level away from maybe getting horns and then just 2-die piling on stuff. That would be great.
I'm calling it. Ping Pop is rolling Mighty Blow.
If he gets another double, does he go block or Mighty Blow first? Or does he just full meme and take like tackle first?
He goes Mighty Blow and then he takes Claw and then he goes Ogre Hunting. What are you talking about? He goes Danger Goblin.
Mighty Blow, Claw, and then rolls doubles again for Dauntless.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Dauntless, I wouldn't hate Dauntless with Pile On. I would not hate that at all. There's a couple strength up pieces too. But yeah, that troll is just disgusting in this league. And I know that I ripped on him for having tentacles and tackle that don't at all work together, but he gets so many knockdowns on tackle. Like not both downs. Like the defender stumbles and takes tackle and just mauls these stunties. Man, that was a way smarter move than I thought. He's got to be some master of meme play that I'm not aware of. Or at least off meta.
I think the tackle tentacles troll does a thing of just keeping things next to him and then breaking them. So I like it.
Yeah. And he put Sneaky Get to work. That Goblin versus Underworld game, it's like I said, it seemed like there was always some Goblin stomping on some other poor Goblin.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all right. Next,
I think he's a well-poised team. Next one, yeah.
Brunch Time. This is Striker's team.
Halflings are gross. Halflings are so gross.
I know. Look at Slammin' Sammy Bagel. He's 2 points away from taking Piling On.
Yep.
Striker says he's going to roll doubles. What?
I can see that. Doubles would be pretty sweet. Oh. I'm not looking at my Discord. Get the leaderboard out of the way. My bad, guys. Womp. I had the leaderboard up for that.
Oh, no. And then there's Biscuits and Gravy O'Grady. So neither of his trees, because he's got jump up and movement, neither of them, he doesn't have to make stand-up rolls. That's just overpowered. That's cheating. That's super cheater mode.
Yep.
And then, of
Yep.
course, he's got the two doubles. He's got his dirty player that he puts to good use, and his blodge step, which somehow has not died. So I don't know. His team is just straight up good in a way that it doesn't really deserve to be, I would say. It doesn't need to be as good as it is.
I mean, flings are just good. I would say at this point he is getting perhaps a little bloaty for flings because 1050.
He has enough to get the chef against Grazy, and he has the Wizard Stadium too.
Yeah, Wizard Stadium is a bold choice.
Right? He's had that since last season sometime, right? Like that was an exception thing that he had.
Yeah, and I think it probably works out for him well in a lot of matchups because just fireballing stunties is not a bad thing to do. I think when he runs into the lizard teams, it's not what you want because whenever I bolt the ball, I'm scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, that's true. But he fireballed you, got two of your skanks, one of whom was the ball carrier, and then marked the ball with the tree last game.
Yep.
So
this is true.
Again, Striker does Striker and makes it work.
He does.
I mean, you always end up saying hashtag reroll management like turn 2, but you know. And he makes it work.
This is true.
All right, so between him and Grazy's team, which do you think is going to take that?
I like Grazy for this one. I like the Underway Freaks team makeup a lot more, and the Wizard will not come into play this game because the team on the left is the home team, so we're playing in the Underway Freaks Stadium.
Oh man, his team is. I need an over under on how many piling ons he's gonna have with Ping Pop. I need to come up with some over under.
Over 7.
Oh man, you heard it here. I know Grazy's watching. Chuck thinks you'll have 7 or more piling ons with Ping Pop, and I just have to say that bravo for making that skill go to work last game. All right, uncles and cousins versus reciprocating Sawzall.
All right.
Little Bits, uncles and cousins. He's got only one skill on an ogre, unfortunately.
Red Tackle's a good one, though.
It is. And then he has an Agi 4 and a Diving Tackle Noblar. And he still is breaking the scales at 1040. He's still 10 TV shy of Striker with this.
So I'm gonna be, if you're playing try hard mode, which I realize this is stunties, no one should be playing try hard mode. I think you pass on the Agi on Little Sammy there because you're already dodging on a 2-up, so all that does is help you pick up the ball.
And pass.
But
not really.
Yeah, and pass, kind of, sort of, not really.
Not really, because you got the minus modifier. The Agi doesn't help you nearly as much. You're still
you can make
on
3-up.
2.
Yeah, you can make 3-up passes for quick passes. Yeah.
And that makes him worth a lizard, and he's not worth a skink.
Yeah, he's not. 5-1-4-5 is not as good as 8-2-3-7.
Yeah, especially the 7 part. That last one means you can actually use the TV.
Yep.
And he's up against the Goblin team, reciprocating Sawzall, which is almost 100 TV shy, so is going to get 2 bribes, probably. Maybe 3 if he scums one.
Perfect. And he has 150k in the bank, so scumming bribes is on the table.
Yeah, and he has a sneaky get to kick ogres in the head. He has a diving tackle. He has a guard troll, which is good against ogres. Usually, I would say guard is somewhat wasted in a stunty league, but not with this many ogre teams. It's not. And 2 trolls?
Yep.
Not at all.
Yep, I can see that.
So, he's a little. The weapons are always a little bit of a liability, but I think he's got this with the goblins.
Yeah, I think he's in a good position. So, Rusty Shackelford, I want to see you do it to him like you did it to me.
Yeah, because they're both on 7 points. So you want that game to not be a draw.
Right.
I don't think you care who wins. Uh, no, if it's a draw, it's fine. If it's a draw, it's fine because you had a game to play as well. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But you want Striker to lose, and you
Oh, I mean
want
that's a.
these guys to draw. Well, like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you really want those two to draw, and
Yep.
then you'll be in good shape.
All
Next
right.
up, Elite of the Worst versus Cult of Strength. So let's check out that sick ogre team that Common Zimmer's got.
These are some big ogres, and it's 1600 TV. This is the heavyweight of the league.
1600 TV. That's so absurd. So
I mean,
absurd.
that's ogres. Like, this is 1600 TV, but everything except for beauty down there is legit.
No, I know. I don't like lizards, and Handsome Beard are disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, those are amazing.
And then Mr. Dubskull does work too, you know. Anti-skink weapon almost scored, but was stopped by a Noblar. That was just so funny to see.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But yeah, this team is disgusting. And then Cult of Strength, so it's him versus Puke at
Who is
940.
940 for lizards, which means Inducement City.
Like, what do you take with that much inducement money? You can't take the Saurus stars.
Right. That's one of the problems with Stunty League. Whenever, like, bloating up stinks to a point, and then whenever you're 600 TV over against a team who can't induce anything, it's not so bad. So what the lizards can do, there's the stabby skink, which is actually great. There's a skink that has the stab skill, so you can induce that, right?
Yep.
Then there is another. There's two star player skinks, so you can induce both the star player skinks. So I think
the stabby one is Hemlock, right?
Yeah, Hemlock, and the other one's like a leaping one that's like Quetzalcoatl or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you get a leaping skink. There's not a Croc Star. Does
Wait,
not
do
exist.
lizards get Morg?
Lizards could get Morg. So Morg is on the table.
Morg is absolutely on the table with 660. Like, you could take Morg and not a wizard because that's not allowed, but you could take Morg and a Bribe and a Babe almost, I think.
So in the Ogre matchup, though, I don't think Morg is where it's at. So I think I would go for the star player skinks and just rely on running away from your opponent. And I would also consider just like inducing extra Appos and Babes. Because if you can keep skinks on the field, you can play the elf game.
He's also on 10, so he is actually at 1,000 TV. So he only gets 600 TV in inducements.
Yep.
Which is
and
2 Appos, 2 Babes, and 300 TV worth of whatever the heck else you want.
Right. So I think I would hire the star player skinks, which I don't know what they cost, and then whatever's left over, I would invest in Appos and Babes.
And probably consider power Appoing the Crocs if he goes down.
Yeah, maybe, absolutely. And then just do it to him. The tiny skink here is the playmaker, the Agi 4 skink. If you can get in their backfield with Agi 4 and just take the ball away and run it in, like that's how you win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the key is to keep him out of reach of either of those block ogres because they will squish him like a bug.
Yep.
And I know that he had some really good skinks that unfortunately he lost last season. I think it was him. It might have been somebody else had a lizard team last season that lost some sadly nice skinks. Like a strength up skink and a move up skink or something were killed.
Yep.
So you gotta keep them away from the ogres.
Yep, absolutely.
But if I'm the ogres, I might just space out and walk down the pitch Tomb Guardian style, just All right, everybody go forward one step. All right.
Yep. I mean that's how you handle it. You march down the pitch with your ogres, and what are you going to do about it? Not a whole lot.
Yeah. I played Common Zimmer at the beginning of this season, and I had no idea how to not get mauled. It was not happy for me.
I tell you what my approach would be is, like I say, I'm going to try and harass the ball in the backfield. Once they get the ball and start caging, I'm going to walk away and let them do their thing. And my goal is just to score quickly and hope to steal.
So does Common Zimmer just put the ball on an ogre? Does he just risk
Probably.
the handoff and do it?
Yeah, for sure. Because once it's on an ogre, you're not sacking it.
Especially one with block.
Yeah.
And break tackle.
Yeah. And then you just walk down the pitch.
Oh, that game just sounds so frustrating for the poor lizards.
That's why you got to roll doubles and get a strip ball skink so you can uphill strip ball.
So last up is Tater Spiro's That Side of the Family versus my Underworld. He's at 670 TV.
Oof. Well, we're going to take a look. You're first on the list, so let's look at
Okay.
Zeus's Slaughterers.
Hold on. Okay. We'll take a look at my team. That's fine. So...
And you've got the Wrestle Goblin, and you've got the Big Hand Goblin.
And I've got the Horned Goblin, who can 3-die a Nobbler all by himself.
Is that a Niggled Goblin?
Yes. I'm mad about that, but then I rolled Wrestle, and the Wrestle guy's going to take Horn, so Horn's guy can go in the garbage. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Sam I Am can get recycled. The Lorax put in work for me, man. I held on to him, and he took a Mighty Blow hit and a couple other hits last game before then eating the Agi bust, so a real Goblin didn't have to.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well done, Lorax. And now you're fired because you're a 6-2-6-2-6. Like, that's not a stat line.
I'll be right back. My son needs...
Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over to that side of the family and just keep this rolling. On that side of the family, 670 TV for ogres, and that's because there's only 2 ogres here. The basement guy is MNG, I believe, correct? Yep, MNG. And Grandma Moo Moo, what a great name. Grandma Moo Moo is niggled, so that's really unfortunate. So only 2 ogres, but at least he has 1 good block ogre. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So the other thing with this matchup is that I'm carrying 130 TV in cash into this game.
Yeah. Which is a lot of bloated TV. So Tater Sparrow's actually going to end up with enough money to probably induce an ogre to replace one of his busted ogres. That could mean like Bertha.
I was going to say he has enough for Morg. Morg is 430.
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to have enough. Maybe not with his cash. I think he's 10 shy of being able to... No, he's a little bit more than that. So he can't quite get Morg. He doesn't quite have enough cash. But Bertha's like 2-something, right?
Yeah, I think she's 270 or 290.
And what's the other one? There's one other star ogre that's in this. Bark?
I don't remember what the other ogre is. But either way, so you can hire a star ogre. And I like Bertha a lot because movement 6 and dodge break tackle is really good.
I'm really disappointed in the way Cyanide did this. Like, I know all the saws are Goblin Saw models for laziness. Bertha has a beard, man. That is so disappointing.
Well, I think Bertha had a beard in the original model as well. So,
well, fair enough. I don't know my history, but Bertha's very clearly a boy
just
ogre.
another ogre. Yeah, just another ogre.
Yeah.
But that said, I think that side of the family is going to give you a little bit of trouble. I think that bloated cash is going to hurt you quite a bit this game.
Ogre teams give me trouble in general because I don't know how to not die to them. It turns out that Strength 5 Mighty Blow in a Stunty League is pretty good.
Especially when you have block. Block makes things happen.
Yeah, and my Tentatroll is probably going to try and find some Noblars to both down and injure the Noblar and then KO himself to protect himself. That's his plan. Is to hopefully not suicide, but hopefully remove himself gently from the pitch on a Noblar.
Right.
And then steal the MVP.
Yep. I agree.
But I have trouble calling this last one for me. Just knowing my trouble against ogres in the past, it's going to be painful for me.
Yeah, I think I tend to go with that side of the family on this one. Just because that block ogre is so good, and the inducement cash, I think, is going to give him what he needs to make a game of it.
Well, and Underworld in this format, you only get a one-man bench, and until you start skilling up, you're really just a worse Goblin team.
Yep. And once you get skills, then you become real scary. But before then, yeah.
And I'm not at that point. Like, I've got a 2-head, a big hand, a horn, and a wrestle. Like, that's not really scary.
Yeah, you have some of the pieces, but not all of them yet.
Yeah. And then I'm playing with stupid amounts of cash, which hurts a lot. But
yep.
I've already got enough for a thrower, and just that extra cash is enough for a thrower in a line round.
Did you consider going strip over wrestle on the Goblin that you went wrestle with?
I went wrestle because this team is destined for the main league if they continue.
Mm-hmm.
If I was playing in the Stunty League, strip is probably a better choice. Hell, tackle might be the better choice if I'm staying in the Stunty League, or sure hands.
Right.
There's lots of choices that are equal to, or dauntless. There's lots of stuff you could do that's equal to wrestle.
I just didn't know if strip was even viable in the main league as well. Like sometimes.
My Rebel team has a strip 2-heads Goblin, and he got the ball off the other team the first 2 games he played with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I absolutely he's destined for horns if he lives long enough, and I keep playing in Rebel. Absolutely, it's something I would consider, but I don't really know that I will be able to capitalize on it enough, and wrestle gives you so much more survivability over strip. Mm-hmm. That wrestle is really better anytime you need something other than just to get the ball off.
Just sacking the ball. Yeah, I agree.
And sacking the ball, it's better if the opponent has sure hands for sure, right? Mm-hmm. And it's better if they have some skills. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's a better choice for the first Goblin that rolls doubles on this team. I don't really like Blodge because then people get follow-up blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I considered strip, but not on Horton Herta Who. It was immediate wrestle. But he might get killed this game, and it'll all be moot anyway.
I hear you.
But I have to keep the Lorax until after the bowl game, because I can't spend any cash on replacements. So just putting him on the line to die instead of one of the others is valuable.
All right. Well, you don't get a loner if you fire him? I guess you're on.
Not unless somebody else dies.
Okay. If someone else dies, you fire him, because I would rather a loner than that stat line.
Oh, absolutely. If I get a free AV7, that's way better than AV6. Like,
right.
That's a huge difference in armor. Halflings break much easier than goblins.
Just with agility, too. He can't even, run away if he survives a hit.
Oh, no. If he survives a hit, it's only to get hit again the next turn. No, absolutely. He's taking punches until he dies on the pitch, but better him than one of the healthy guys.
Right.
And like I said, he took a Crocs hit last game and didn't die immediately. So it can happen.
That's impressive.
Noblars don't break every time you hit them. It's every other time you hit them.
Right.
Well, a little more than that for a Noblar.
All right.
So we got one more week before the playoff. Well, the bowl games are decided. I would like there to be one of the tie situations that means that 4th place can win and 3rd place can't, just because of how stupid and ridiculous that is. And I also hope that in that situation you are in 3rd place.
Right.
Because it's all been
pretty good.
And it's all above board. It's all been spelled out in the rules. since the beginning. I feel like I've been reasonably judicious about the plays of the week and the teabags of the teabag of the week. So I don't feel like I've used them intentionally to sway the standings.
Right.
Though again, it's a stunty league. Feel free to accuse me of that. It's not going to do anything because I have all the power. But feel free to accuse me of that.
Yeah, this is a totalitarian regime here.
This
so
is
whatever...
North Korea, and I am Kim Jong-un. All right, and he killed his brother and his uncle. So no.
Yeah. Accuse at your own risk. But all right.
I really hope that we have a fun last week and that we can set up some good bowl games and that everybody has fun with them. You know, even the people that aren't having the most success or their teams are falling apart. I hope they're having fun in this league.
Do we want to take a peek at my team and Nillyman's team, or do you want to wait till next week since we had our game?
Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. So start with your team, I guess.
Sure. So we're up to 1240 now, and we got a few levels. We're second. Yeah, we're the second bloatiest. And we did not roll doubles on Tree and Leave, so he is destined for the grinder as soon as I can afford to replace him.
Oh, poor guy.
And other than that, Adam and Split, we have a block skink again.
But Lightning and Bolt. Lightning and Bolt is not destined for the grinder yet?
Lightning and Bolt? No, not yet. I keep the... It's third skill that they get recycled.
So, if he rolls a double, is it block, is it wrestle, is it tackle?
It's probably tackle, and then he stays as both a blitzing threat and a ball pest.
And you do everything you can not to get him any STP ever again, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. A stunty with a sidestep diving tackle is not long for this world.
No, that's especially not in a league where at least one of them has dirty player and several have sneaky get.
Yeah, those just don't last long. I don't know if anyone's kept track, but I think I've gone through at least 4 sidestepping diving tackle skinks this season.
I know you've gone through some sidestep. I didn't notice if they had diving tackle also.
Yeah. Several of them have had diving tackle, and they have just cycled right along. So
okay. You've got a nice self-controlling TV.
Yeah, it regulates itself.
And then extreme right wingers. That is
Yep.
210 TV leaner than striker.
Yeah.
With an Agi 4 fling.
Yeah, because he has nothing but diving tackle and an Agi 4 fling. His trees are not ridiculous. But what that does mean is he always gets the dreaded deep root. So
how much is deep root?
Deep root is 290, I believe.
No. He's only 20 more than Ripper?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And
oh my God,
block, mighty blow, no nega trait. He is so good.
I mean, I guess trees are only 10 more than trolls. God, trees are good for what you get.
He is only movement 2, so I mean, getting around the pitch to do what he wants to do is a pain, but...
Yeah, but Tomb Guardians are only movement 3 or 4.
Yep.
They're movement 4. Mummies are movement 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
But block, mighty blow.
I know. Oof. Especially in the
hurting on
stunty
you.
league. Like, I don't know. Common Zimmer probably isn't worried about block, mighty blow too much. He's got his own block. But the rest of us plebes.
Yeah. Deep root just like removes a thing a turn is what deep root does.
Yeah, you know, I've watched the first half of your game against Nilly Man, and it was not deep root always removing things a turn. One of the trees did, but
well, fair enough.
Wasn't deep root.
Right.
You were just triggered by deep root, man.
I'm always triggered by deep root. That is my bane player because it's always flings and it's always deep root.
Did you like trip on a tree root and skin your knee as a kid or something? Like, what is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Flings have my number.
Flings are deceptive. They seem like a terrible team, and then you get these people that even in non-stunty leagues can just like beat shorts in the Rebel playoffs because why not?
I mean, flings are just so efficient with their TV.
Ah. Well, that's it for this. I've got to get my kids ready for bed, and then I don't even know what Rumble's playing in the main league. That my three
Humans.
oh, that's right, humans. We talked about that. He's got the sprint catcher, right?
Yeah, he has a sprint sure feet catcher and I think a mighty blow blitzer and like one other player with a skill.
Oh my
So it's
God,
not
that
it's
game.
not a huge skill team.
It doesn't matter. I don't have any skills, and I have three Tomb Guardians. He's gonna maul me, and it's gonna be embarrassing.
Well,
I need to just
uh,
accept that I'm an elf player and bring my high elves next season.
that's an option. Um, all right. I don't have anything else for the Stunty recap. Do you?
Nope, that's it for this week.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for the recap, and have a good one.
See you guys.